does tell you a lot about the ruthlessness and dishonesty of our political leadership. Within minutes of Saturday's shooting, before all of the bodies of those 10 murdered Americans had even been identified by their loved ones, professional Democrats had begun a coordinated campaign to blame those murders on their political opponents.
Ooh, Tucker is nervous. People are figuring him out quicker now, huh? In a 9-minute segment on his show, White Supremacists Unite, Tucker Carlson tonight clearly meant to distance himself from the Buffalo shooting and the racist, anti-Semitic replacement theory and general fear of non-white people he's pushed for so long now. All he did was prove again how racist he actually is, and how he basically doesn't care if more people die going forward, because apparently his hateful words are incapable of causing people to do anything bad. And he ended his segment with a couple of statements that will blow your mind. Just wait for it. So in this video, I'm going to break down clip by clip how Tucker lies to his audience and tries to make excuse after excuse and fails miserably. But first, some context. Here's a few clips of Tucker pushing white replacement theory and laughing about it.
Now, I know that the left and all the little gatekeepers on Twitter become literally hysterical if you use the term replacement, if you suggest that the Democratic Party is trying to replace the current electorate, the voters now casting ballots, with new people, more obedient voters from the third world. But they become hysterical because that's what's happening, actually. Let's just say it. That's true. Let's say that again for emphasis, because it is the secret to the entire immigration debate. Demographic change is the key to the Democratic Party's political ambitions. In other words, you're being replaced and there's nothing you can do about it. So shut up. I mean, they're trying to change the population of the United States, and they hate it when you say that because it's true. Our country's being invaded by the rest of the world.
Let me just state unequivocally, the country's being stolen from American citizens as we watch.
In political terms, this policy is called the Great Replacement, the replacement of legacy Americans with more obedient people from faraway countries.
People from third world countries are coming here to replace legacy Americans. What is America, a fraternity? Of course Tucker thinks it is. You're a legacy family, bro, so we got you. What thinly veiled cover for saying white? And look how he others and dehumanizes immigrants by calling them people from far away countries. Is it the distance that bothers you now, buddy? Mexico's literally connected to America, and you don't seem to like people coming from there much either. So with the world pointing fingers at him for, taking hate mainstream, Tucker Carlson began grasping at straws. Here he is trying to say this killer might have even been a Democrat. Who knows?
The document is not recognizably left-wing or right-wing. It's not really political at all.
No, it's very recognizably right-wing. Some of it is incredibly close to things you said on air, Tuck. So then he tries a different tactic. It doesn't matter why the shooter did it. Please stop looking into it. Please, pretty please.
If your daughter was murdered on Saturday in Buffalo, you wouldn't care why the killer did it or who he voted for.
Yeah, you would. You would want very much to know why and who was responsible for it. And if you cared at all for humanity and not just power and money like you do, adult man named Tucker, you would want to know who poisoned this very sick person's mind, so you could maybe help stop it from happening again. You would want to know if, say, an incredibly powerful news personality, for example, played a part in inspiring him to do it. So maybe something could be done to stop that hate speech from being repeated again. And while Tucker is not named in the manifesto, here's a fun fact. The killer we know did spend time on neo-Nazi website The Daily Stormer, whose founder, oh my, what a surprise, called you, Tucker, quote, literally our greatest ally, and was super pleased with your pushing of his horrible great replacement theory. So random.
They did it, they said, immediately. Patron Gendron was the heir to Donald Trump, they told us. Trumpism committed mass murder in Buffalo. And for that reason, it followed logically, we must suspend the First Amendment.
Which literally zero Democrats said. Tucker's audience is so gullible, however, that he then cuts to a compilation of clips of Democrats saying they respect the First Amendment and that we should only do better at stopping hate speech. Roll the clips that he himself rolled.
I'll protect the First Amendment any day of the week. But you don't protect hate speech. You don't protect incendiary speech. You're not allowed to scream fire in a crowded theater. There are limitations on speech, and right now we have seen this run rampant.
Then he says a truly absurd thing right after those clips.
So what is hate speech? Well, it's speech that our leaders hate.
What a disingenuous monster Tucker Carlson is. He just makes that up out of thin air. Hate speech is speech that targets a group of people with hate and lies and puts a target on their backs. You know, Tuck, it's your favorite kind. Just because you are the one spewing it, crybaby, doesn't mean that it shouldn't be stopped. The problem for Tucker is that for him, hate speech is free speech. It's the only speech he knows. Give him a break. Then Tucker tries some good old-fashioned, Biden's actually the one dividing us.
Biden has decided to attack people who disapprove. According to Politico, quote, Biden has taken to telling his aides that he no longer recognizes the GOP, which he now views as an existential threat to the nation's democracy.
Don't read it with such shock, Tuck. He only says it because that's exactly what GOP leaders are now. Yourself included. See, when you don't honor fair election results, or you fail to condemn people who try to stop the peaceful transfer of power, you are literally a direct threat to our democracy. Threatening democracy is defined as, and I just looked this up, threatening democracy. And when your party refuses, even after a shooting, to condemn neo-Nazi teachings, that's a threat to the nation in general. But again, he immediately then bait and switches his audience and changes it to,
people who disagree with Joe Biden, according to Joe Biden, are now a, quote, existential threat to the nation, like Al-Qaeda or climate change.
You see what he did there? No, Tucker, not people who disagree with him, just those who are actually threatening our democracy. We just covered this. You can disagree with Biden on other stuff. It's fine. Biden's historically super nice to people who try to stop his agenda. So you're good there. It's just the anti-democracy stuff and the not condemning Nazi ideology stuff. Then his speech takes a turn somehow for the much, much worse when he tries to blame the shooting on people who talk about race at all.
All race politics is bad, no matter what flavor those politics happen to be. No race politics is better than any other.
Says Tucker now, after he's been happy to push race politics for 400 episodes. That's the real number. All of it is bad no matter what flavor? Are you for real, dude? This isn't an ice cream shop. One side's race politics uses something called evidence to show that some races of people are not treated fairly, so we can, I don't know, maybe fix it. And your race politics uses neo-Nazi, totally made-up conspiracy theories to make white people fear those very races of people. But you're right, it's just different flavors. Let me guess, your favorite flavor is vanilla, isn't it? Tucker Swanson McNear Carlson. That's his actual full name. Most vanilla-loving name possible. More fun info, his father's name is Dick, and his mother left when he was 6. I guess she couldn't even stand being around Tucker as a child. Now watch this idiot try to justify hate.
Above all, race politics always makes us hate each other.
Maybe that's the reaction when racists hear about race. It makes the rest of us want to fix the problem, because we have a thing you don't called a heart.
Race politics is a sin. Race politics always leads to violence and death.
Yeah, when you push racist conspiracy theory white nationalist race politics it does, as you do. But you failed to include those key adjectives there, didn't you, Tuck? Did you leave it out because white nationalist theories are just a different flavor? And you're right, dude, it has indeed led to violence and death. Are you just scolding yourself with this diatribe? Look what I did. I'm a bad Tucker. And then Carlson goes full-on insane.
Ethnicity has already been stripped out of school books and rubbed off government identity cards, reported the New York Times. Government documents no longer mention Hutu or Tutsi, and the country's newspapers and radio stations steer clear of the labels as well. They have de-emphasized race in Rwanda, intentionally and systematically. Rwandan citizens are citizens first, members of racial or tribal groups second or not at all. Result? There have been no more genocides in Rwanda. And that could easily be the path forward for this country, too.
No more racial identity at all is his solution? In the give us your huddled masses yearning to be free melting pot that is the United States of America? His implication here literally being that if we keep talking about race, if we try to address racial issues in America at all, it will only lead to more violence. Sounds like he's even excusing a potential genocide here on our shores if we don't abandon wanting to fix racial injustice. What a garbage person he is. No offense to garbage people. I don't mean he takes out the garbage. I mean he is the garbage. Could one of you take him out, like you do with garbage? I'd be fine with him shouting this racist shit in the middle of a landfill where no one can hear, and he can laugh maniacally like a total creep all he likes. But in case you didn't get the real point behind Tucker's frantic, desperate diatribe, he made it crystal clear yet again just a few seconds later.
All lives matter, period.
There it is, without all the flowery language. Black people are gunned down in a white supremacist hate crime, and he makes sure his response is the racist favorite, all lives matter. Racist because the whole problem is we need to make sure his followers specifically learn that black lives matter too. And that saying Black Lives Matter doesn't weaken you. It doesn't replace you. And it doesn't need to make you want to shoot anybody. It's just an acknowledgement of people's pain, which is the first step toward healing our society. Instead, Tucker Carlson pushes the exact opposite. Either shut up and pretend you aren't part of an ethnic group at all, or risk death. And do you still wonder where a deranged 18-year-old could get the idea that it's okay to write in his manifesto, and I quote, "As long as the white man lives, our land will never be theirs, and they will never be safe from us." All lives matter, Tucker? I'm not sure that yours should. I'm Ben Gleib. Check out my videos here on Rebel HQ, subscribe to my news and politics comedy podcast, Last Week on Earth, and follow @Ben Gleib on all platforms.